Welcome, this is Ad Emmen reporting live for Primeur Magazine from the e-IRG workshop in Bratislava. And we're talking here with Mark Parsons from RDA, who gave a presentation earlier at this workshop. So welcome.
Thank you.
Can you tell a little bit about yourself?
So my name is Mark Parsons. I'm the Secretary General of the Research Data Alliance. I come from a background of data management. I worked for many years managing data for the cryosphere, cold things, snow and ice, but also more generally for Arctic data management, dealing with everything from satellite remote sensing to indigenous knowledge of the Arctic, so very diverse. And I was heavily involved in setting up the data systems and data policy for a big international research project called the International Polar. And I think that's where I really got involved in international collaboration around data, and that's sort of what led me into the Research Data Alliance. So I'm the first Secretary General, and I've been Secretary General for about 2.5 years.
And RDA, that's the Research Data Alliance, so what's it all about?
So Research Data Alliance is a member organization, a volunteer member organization of data practitioners, computer scientists, librarians, people interested in making data sharing work. So our mission is to build the social and technical bridges that enable the open sharing of data. And that's a very deliberate metaphor, the social and technical bridges, because what we're trying to do is build infrastructure, and bridges are a form of infrastructure. But we see as central to creating infrastructure, and we mean that in the broadest sense possible, really, the data sharing infrastructure, is that it's a body of connections, it's a body of relationships, and so we want to foster those connections. We have working groups, and those working groups only exist for 18 months, at the end of which they have actually put something into practice. They've actually implemented something. It may be a particular technical widget or standard or something, but it may also be more on the social side. We have a summer schools program, for example. We have a working group that worked to harmonize 2 different repository certification schemes. So anything that helps overcome a barrier or advances data sharing a little bit is really the focus of what we're trying to do.
And what's the size of the organization?
So we're a global organization. We have members from all around the world. We have about 4,500 members so far, which we've grown very rapidly. We only started about 3.5-4 years ago. And then in addition, we have about 50 organizational members who actually pay membership dues to really bring that organizational voice into RDA, not just that of the individual researcher, because ultimately, in our goal to create infrastructure, we recognize that it's organizations that need to adopt what we produce, not just the individuals.
Mm-hmm. So we were here at the e-IRG workshop, so why you were here?
I was invited.
That's a good reason. Yeah, okay.
But I think it's really to try and understand connections between e-IRG and RDA, but also the research infrastructures as well. And I really see data as a boundary object, an area, and not as a barrier, but as in a interface where people collaborate. That's often where researchers collaborate, is around shared data, and I think that this is a common interest across the SFRIs and across e-IRG and RDA. And was actually talking to Sverker and Gabi earlier today about how more explicitly we might collaborate between e-IRG and RDA. And I think we had a good realization that e-IRG is working at a policy level. It's up here, the roadmap, and I think we heard that a lot in the meeting over the last 2 days. The roadmap is really good, but it's high level. It doesn't really get into the implementation details and what are the next steps. Whereas RDA is much more of a bottoms-up grassroots organization and really focused on that implementation. So I think we want to try and establish a relationship where there's a better connection and interface feedback loop between the policy level actions and then the actual work on the ground, and that should be informing policy. So just as one example, many more research agencies are now requiring data management plans, and they're even as part of research proposals. I'm getting a lot of feedback from policymakers and agency heads that, okay, how do I evaluate a data management plan? What does it mean to have a good data management plan? And there's templates out there now and so forth that help guide you in the creation, but I think it's important to recognize that it needs to be an ongoing planning process. And so it's not just to write it once with your proposal and then you're done. It needs to be an ongoing activity. So RDA has a group that's looking at what they call active data management plans. That's really trying to keep that ongoing planning process. So e-IRG might be making some recommendations on that agencies should be requiring data management plans. Maybe there are certain aspects that they should be requiring about data management plans. And maybe they end up referring to say, see RDA as to get into the details of how you want to do this. So that's just one example, but I think we could see a lot of examples. Another area that we discussed of common interest is preservation. So everyone agrees that we need to preserve data, but which data? How do you make that assessment? What are the technologies, mechanisms that you need? What are the social structures as much as anything? The sustainability mechanisms, etc. So we're going to be having ongoing conversations, probably a little workshop between e-IRG, ESFRI, and RDA, just to really see where those collaborations might be most fruitful. Maybe just to note that I think this is really an exciting time, that data has really come of age. It's being considered at all levels of government. It's being recognized as a key component in terms of fostering innovative research, and that it's being recognized that there's some really critical challenges there. And I'm very excited that e-IRG recognizes that and that is willing to collaborate with RDA, and that I think it's a good time to be trying to address the challenges of data sharing.
Thank you very much for this interview.
Thank you.
For Primeur Magazine, this was Atami reporting.